Good morning. Welcome back to Life After. I woke up to a very snowy, stormy day today, and so I don't think I'm going to leave my house. But I've got my coffee, and I thought it would be a good day to stay at home, maybe do some baking. So I'm going to make a loaf of bread today. It's a super easy recipe, so I thought I would take you along with me, and I'll show you how to make it if you haven't already found it out there. It's only 4 ingredients. You don't even have to knead it. It's super, super easy, but you look like a superstar when you see it come out of the oven. So join me today if you'd like, and let's bake some bread together. Okay, guys, so we have everything here that we need to make this super easy bread recipe. So we're gonna start out with our 4 ingredients. We have uh, between 1.5 and 1 3/4 cup of hot water. In my case, for my area, for some reason, I have to use 1 3/4 cup, but start with 1.5 and see how you do before you add too much. We have 3 cups of flour. You can use regular all-purpose flour, or you can use bread flour. We also have a teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of yeast. The salt, you can use whatever kind of salt that you like to use. I'm using pink Himalayan sea salt. That's just what I use every day. And as far as the yeast goes, you can use the dry, active, quick rise, whatever works for you will work in this recipe. So let's start out by adding in our yeast and our salt and our water. There we go. And I'm just going to give that a little stir around just to make sure nothing's stuck on the bottom. There. And then we're going to add our 3 cups of flour. There we go. Let's give that a stir around as well. The only other thing you need to make this recipe is a Dutch oven with a lid that doesn't have a plastic handle on it that can go into the oven. But for now, let's start out with this dough. I know it looks really mushy and watery, but it's going to get a little bit better. And this is not going to look like a regular dough that you would use to make bread. This is going to look pretty shaggy. We're just going to get as much of this liquid mixed into the flour as possible here. You can see already that it's a pretty shaggy dough. There we go. This doesn't have to be beautiful. There we go. So it's pretty wet, pretty shaggy. It's not forming into like a dough that you might think that you need for making bread, but that is totally fine. What we're going to do now is we're just going to cover it up with some plastic wrap. A little bit of plastic wrap. We're just going to cover that up, and we're going to let this sit for 3 hours. Now, mind you, if you have somewhere to go and you're going to be at work for the day or whatever the case may be, you can leave this sit longer. 3 hours is about like what it needs, but you can certainly let this sit longer. If it sits while you're at work all day, that's completely fine as well. So let's let that sit, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so it's been 3 hours. So we're going to take this cover off so you can see what the dough looks like. You can see how much it's grown. It's about double in size. So the next thing we're going to do is scrape this bowl out onto this table. So I'm going to put a little bit of flour down. And you don't need a lot, just enough that it won't stick to the surface. There. And then I have a dough scraper, but you can use the spatula too. I'm just going to empty this bowl out onto this flour. Okay. So now I'm just going to put some of this on top just to sort of keep it from sticking because it is pretty sticky at this point. And then we're just going to use the scraper, the flat side of the scraper, and we're just going to sort of work it so that it's completely covered with the flour. That's all it takes is just a couple of times. Now we're just going to let this sit for a couple of minutes. I'm going to wash this bowl and then we're going to put it back in the bowl and we're going to have it just sit for another 30 minutes to rest. So you can sort of form it into a nice smooth ball. There we go. And I'm going to take this, we're going to wash it, and then we'll be right back. Okay, now the bowl is clean again. We're just going to take a little bit of flour and put it in the bottom of the bowl. There. And then whatever's left, keep it on your hands just so that you don't stick. Okay, so now we're just going to pick this up. We're going to place it in the bowl. We're going to put a cloth on top of it and we're going to let it rest for 30 minutes. There we go. While this is happening, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. So the other thing you're going to do while you preheat the oven is get your Dutch oven and put it in the oven with the preheat. So I'll show you mine. This is my Dutch oven here. It's made a lot of bread and it's years and years old. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lid on this and I'm going to put it in the oven just like this so that it can preheat with the oven. We want it to be really hot. Okay, guys, so it's been a half an hour. So let's take this cover off. That looks well rested. So I'm going to move this out of the way and then we're going to grab our Dutch oven out of the oven. The oven's preheated now. It's ready to go. It's at 450 degrees. So let's move this out of the way and let's grab our Dutch oven. Okay, there we go. We have our Dutch oven. This is very hot. I'm working on a silicone surface here, so that is good. Now, you have two options for how you want to bake this. You can use some parchment paper and put it in the bottom of your bowl or of your Dutch oven. I don't have any left. That's normally the way I do it. So I am going to put some flour in the bottom of mine, just like so, just to keep it from sticking on the bottom. There we are. So now we're going to take our dough out of this bowl and we're just going to drop it into the other. There we go. Try and keep it shaped as much as you can. So I'm going to drop that in there. And then if you're feeling really fancy, you can actually decorate a little bit. You can use a knife. I'm just going to use some scissors and I'm just going to make some cuts. There. You can do a slice down the middle. You can do whatever you want and it'll show up later. You'll see. All right. So we're going to put the cover on our pot. And we're going to get this into the oven. And we're going to bake it for 30 minutes with the lid on. Then we're going to take it out, take the lid off, and then bake it again until it's as brown on top as you would like it to be. All right, let's get this in the oven. Okay, guys, so it's been 30 minutes. I just pulled this pot out of the oven. Let's see what our bread looks like. Ooh, she's hot. Oh, that looks beautiful. So it looks like it's pretty much fully baked. So what we're going to do now is just put it back in the oven with the lid off, and we're just going to brown the top of it. All right, so let's get that started. All right, guys, here we go. Bread is out of the oven. It looks beautiful. So we're just going to put it on this cooling rack, and we're going to let it cool pretty much completely. Let me just see if I can grab it out of here. Oh, look how beautiful that is. So let's put that on our cooling rack. We're going to let that cool for a little bit, and then we will cut it up, and you can see how beautiful it is on the inside. Bread is nice and cooled off, still a little bit warm, but it feels good. So let's pick this up, and let's get rid of this rack. This bread is beautiful. It's nice on the outside, it's crispy, and on the inside, it's going to be nice and soft. Let's cut it open and take a peek. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. Look how delicious that's going to be. Fresh bread, you can't go wrong. So there you go, guys. Nice and easy, simple recipe, something that you don't have to work really hard on. And just one of the little hobbies that I like to do to keep my day busy or stay warm on a winter day. I got a nice slice here with some butter on it. You can see it all melting because the bread's still nice and warm. So I hope that you try this recipe. I will post it in the description so that you can all try it out and see how you like it. And we will catch you on the next one. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you. Bye for now.